Many blessings for this full moon under the energy of Capricorn. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about full moons and why is it a full moon. So, as you already know, the sun entered in Cancer no long ago on June 20. In June 20, we had a lot of things happening. We have the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere and the winter solstice in the southern hemisphere. And we also had the sun moving into Cancer and Jupiter, which right now it's in Pisces, enter retrograde. So we have so many things happening in June 20, and now we're having 4 days after the solstice, we have a full moon in Capricorn. So full moons is always a reminder that we close a chapter. What chapter? Whatever we begin in January, when we had the new moon in Capricorn, whatever we manifest in that new moon, then today, I mean, not exactly today, but around these days, we're gonna feel and we're gonna see that conclusion. So that's why it is important to be conscious what we want to manifest during new moons, because it's a process of 6 months. And at the end, when the full moon comes, which is today, we're gonna see those results. We're gonna see what we planned. We're gonna see that flower, that plant growing or already grew, and we can say, wow, I did it, right? And you can do like a little, palm on your shoulder and say, yes, I made it, right? Now, if you didn't really manifest anything, or you were not really, or you didn't know about this energy, it's okay. Go back and see how you were feeling back then in January. What obstacles did you have to overcome over in January, or what things around that month, what things you had to deal with, what emotions you were running into. And then you can see your process from January until now and say, wow, yeah, I actually achieved a lot. Even though I wasn't conscious, maybe I didn't know that in new moons I had to manifest, but now this is a time where I can say I actually did my part. I actually did some kind of work, unconsciously or consciously. Now that you know that, I want to tell you, well, now you know that the sun is under the energy of Cancer. That's why we have a full moon in Capricorn. And what does that really means? So basically, in full moons, the full, it's actually full, right? We can see it, we can see the light, because the sun is hitting all the light towards the moon. So that means that things that maybe we weren't seeing with clarity, that maybe it was hard to achieve, hard to see, that what's obscure or what's kind of like, in penumbra, now this is the time where we actually going to be able to see things more clarity. One thing that we need to understand is that there's so many planets. Even though Mercury now is direct, it's still post shadow, and we still also have other planets that are retrograde. So it is important that maybe during this full moon, things might be a little bit clear, but might not be totally clear. Why? Because there's so many planets retrograde. We're still on post shadow Mercury, and we're coming out from a eclipse season where things were not really clear. So the energy of Capricorn, even though we have, Jupiter in Pisces, and we have this spiritual and intuition and mystical connection, right now it is important to keep your feet on the ground. Now we have a little bit of water that the sun entered in Cancer, and our internal waters are moving, and somehow we're feeling a little more, or maybe we don't want to feel too much. And there's so many things related with the energy of Cancer, which is home, taking care of my internal home, my stability, my security. How are we feeling in those aspects? How are my roots? How are my internal water? How are my emotions? Am I stable, or maybe I'm not really stable? Now with this full moon in Capricorn, it's telling me, okay, remember, we have this mystical energy out there, but it is important to keep my feet on the ground. It is important to connect with the earth and the material energy that we have here in this 3D physical world. I cannot ignore that I have a physical body, right? I cannot ignore that. So it is important, yes, to meditate, to connect with our intuition, into our mystical and magical side, which is Jupiter in Pisces. But also it is important to be realistic. To maybe we have an illusion, maybe we had a promise, maybe somebody promised something to us, maybe I create something in my mind, and when at the end it wasn't what it was, or it wasn't what I really thought it was. So illusions, very high illusions, and then poof, okay, this is the reality. But we need to see it in a positive way, because Capricorn, who rules Capricorn? Saturn. And Saturn reminds us of limitations, structures, time. It's wisdom too. So if somehow we connect in a positive way with that energy, even though it can hurt and it's painful, but if we connect into that energy, so that energy says, brings me some wisdom, then I can connect better with that. So this is the opportunity to see that reality, to see that Saturn in ourselves, to bring that idea, that mystical feelings and ideas and thoughts into reality. Connecting with yourself, actually seeing the things that you really want, or maybe asking yourself, am I being too rigid with myself? Am I being too structured? Or maybe I don't have any structure at all. Maybe I'm too flexible and I actually need to go back and find a structured way for my life, for my feelings, for my emotions. Maybe putting boundaries to others, and maybe really asking myself what really I want. So this is a time to actually to relax, honestly, because we already work, right? When back in the new moon. But this is an opportunity too to start being more conscious of what we want to manifest for the next new moon too. And actually ask ourselves, how are we feeling? More than anything. This full moon, it's important that you really connect, that you write. If you cannot connect with yourself, maybe you're too much thinking, maybe you have too much ideas in your brain, then write it down. Maybe you're dreaming more often. Write down your dreams. Write down your ideas. Write down a way of maybe manifesting what you want, and see that and actually make it happen. Because Capricorn's energy, they think, but they actually do it. Like they actually whatever they want, they actually manifest it, and they actually bring it down to this physical world. They are workaholic in astrology. They actually work for what they want. They climb that mountain, right? But with hard work. And enjoy that process, right? Enjoying that process. This full moon is full of light. It's full of new beginnings. Even though it's a full moon, I mean, we're just coming out from a solstice. And solstices are always opportunities, portal opportunities with full of energy that bring us down so much information. So thank you guys for watching. If you want to learn more, you can comment below. And if you have a specific question about your natal chart, this is the opportunity to comment below. Happy full moon, many blessings, and I hope you connect with your Capricorn energy. See you later.